Good afternoon, one and all. I welcome you in this afternoon session. Today, we have Dr. Arif Pavitra among us. She is going to deliver her speech on research methodology with particular emphasis on the data collection. Before starting her lecture, I would like to introduce myself. Dr. Arif Pavitra is working as an assistant professor of economics at the government postgrad college, KR. She did her JHS, she did her degree in JHS College, Mysore, and joined Mansalva for MA in economics in 2004. She has bagged one first rank and 6 gold medals with 2 cash prizes in MA economics from the University of Mysore in 2004. She had passed NET in UC and SLC in 2005-2006 respectively. She got selected to Karnataka Public Service Commission as assistant professor in 2007 and pursued diploma in rural development in 2010. She received her degree, a PhD, in 2012. The same year, she got selected to the open competition as an assistant professor to the Department of Economics in Karnataka State Open Institute. She has published 95 such papers in various books and journals. She has organized many conferences as well. She is crowned with the Best Scientist Award by the International Mathematical Research Foundation. In 2018 January, she has been awarded as Best Economics Award from the Ratna Prasad Academy in Devara. Now she is the director of the Ghanaian Studies. She has edited 7 volumes of the Chapu Journal. She is an active volunteer of various medical centers. The panelists on EV9 related to economic issues like demonetization and projects. She has served the coordinator of the Competitive Examination Training Center, JO, KSOU, Master. Such an eminent personality is among us, and without further delay, I request Dr. R. S. Pavitra to guide us on the research methodology while particular emphasis on data. Dr. R. S. Pavitra.
Good morning, one and all. It is my esteemed pleasure to speak on data collection. At the same time, I take an opportunity to thank the esteemed institution for providing an opportunity for the researchers as well as the academician to listen on research methodology and to know more about the research methodology. And I begin with the data collection. The data collection is one of the important concepts to be known by all academicians and all the researchers. Data collection is nothing but finding solution to the existing problem, or it is nothing but finding answers to the questions. But the best example is the COVID-19, the pandemic, which has shook or which has disturbed the entire world. To know about the positive patients of COVID-19 throughout India, we look into the everyday survey reports given by Government of India, Government of every states. So the particular table which is going in this slide explains how many patients, how many percentage of people throughout India have suffered and have been proved as positive of COVID-19 since January 22nd to April 30th, 2020. This is called as the data collection. But to put in a different way, or to put the concept data collection in a more systematic way, it is nothing but it is a process of gathering and analyzing the information to the problems, or gathering and analyzing the information to find solution to the existing questions. Almost all the researchers, they do research. Research is nothing but finding solution to the problems or finding information to a particular question. What is required to find some solution, to find some answers? What is required? The data. Data is nothing but answer. So, while collecting the data, data is of two ways. What are the two ways? We all know that, you all know that there are two types. One is the primary data collection. Second one is the secondary data collection. So, what is the primary data? It is nothing but the primary data is the first-hand information. That means the people, the researcher goes to a particular place and the original research or the original information or the raw data has been collected by the original researcher himself. If I am a researcher, I go to the particular area and collect the required information what I require. That might be the survey, that might be my observation, that might be through the questionnaires, it might be, but it is the primary or the first-hand information to get solution, to get some remedies, to find solution to the existing problems. But primary data is of two ways. There are two ways of primary data. One is the qualitative and the second one is the quantitative research. So let me speak about the qualitative research. That will not be any information or the data will not be in the mathematical calculations form, will not have any numerical information. That will be more of quality. Take the best example is the open-end questionnaire. Whereas the quantitative research, when we speak of quantitative, the data or the information that will be more in the form of mathematical calculations. The best example is getting information by using, in order to analyze your data or to find solution to the problems or to know something about the data, using of regression, using of correlation, mean, median to calculate the average. All this is the quantitative primary data. So primary data, as we know that it is the information collected by the researcher himself and the researcher himself, and that will be of two types. One is the qualitative, quantitative. Qualitative, more of questionnaires and few of the qualitative in nature, which will not use any of the mathematical calculations. But qualitative, when we speak about quantitative, it is more of number, it is more of information in number or mathematical calculation using of regression, multiple correlation, or it might be the standard deviation, all these things. And the other type of data, we spoke about the primary data. Primary data once again will have quality and quantitative data. And now it is the qualitative, secondary data. What is secondary data? Secondary data is nothing but the second-hand information. The researcher will not be an original researcher. The person gets information from the available records, available documents. It might be the documents of NGO, it might be the documents of government, or it might be from the published articles, it might be from the public journals, or it might be the published newsletters of any of the institution, esteemed organizations. So reports, all this are the secondary information or the secondary data, where the original researcher will not get information originally through his questionnaire. He gets from the available data, available reports, already available information. See, usually when the researcher tries to work on the poverty of a particular research or case study area, he goes from the grassroots level, that is from the global poverty to India poverty, and to the level of particular state, and to the district poverty level, and from district to the case study area. It might be a district or the taluk level. So there, the primary data he may conduct for the case study area, but it is not possible for him to conduct a researcher to conduct the poverty level of the entire world. So what he does, he gets the poverty level from the World Bank report. He might get the poverty level of India from the Niti Ayoga information or the economic survey report. And he may get the poverty level of a particular state by the human development reports. This is how he gets information from already published sources. That is called as the secondary data. So now, what is the importance of data collection? Why data collection is required? Data collection is nothing but finding solution to a problem. That is the research, finding solution to the problem. But finding information to the question posed is, how do you get? It is through the information. That information is nothing but the data. Data, it might be the primary data or it might be the secondary data. You're getting some answer to the questions. You're getting some answer to the question that have been posed. So that helps the researcher. That the first important that you can see even in these slides moving, the first need or the importance is the integrity of the research. That is, the key reason for collecting data, be it through the qualitative or it might be the quantitative methods, but it is to help that the integrity of the research question is indeed maintained. And next one is to reduce the likelihood of errors. If you you cannot give haphazard answer. If you conduct a survey, if you go into the case study area, or you may get the second-hand information by the already available documents, only then you can analyze it in a proper way and can give the accurate or nearby accurate results. So it tries to reduce the likelihood errors. That is one thing that is important or the need of data collection. And you can also make decision what type of, take for example, the self-help group and the women empowerment. You can conclude, you can come to the decision, you can make decisions. Third one is the decision making. Third important need of data collection is the decision making. You can decide the level of self-help group have contributed to the economic empowerment of women, in turn has contributed to the overall development of a particular area. You can come for the decision, you can make some decisions with the help of the data. It might be the data collected by the researcher himself, or it might be the information or the data from the already helps him to understand the situation, helps to make decision, helps to come for the conclusion with the help of the data. So that is why it saves time as well as the errors. So and it also supports a need for a new idea. So already with the help of the data, he can make some innovations, the new changes he can bring, and the new idea he may come out with new ideas, the researcher. So the data collection is important because in order to overcome from the likelihood errors, and it saves the time, it saves the cost, and at the same time it helps for the decision making, and it supports a need for new idea. And what is decision? Let me speak about the data collection tools. Data collection tools, as I already said about the primary data, the secondary data. Primary data is of qualitative and the quantitative aspect. When we looked into the data collection and its importance, we came to know that it is essential for the integrity of the research, and it also reduces the likelihood errors, and all these things. Now, let us understand the tools and the data collection method. So, what is data collection tools? Data collection tools are nothing but the instruments. They are the devices used to collect the data. It might be take for example, it might be the questionnaires, it might be computer assisted devices, or like computer assisted interviewing system through Google Forms. It might be the case studies, checklist, interviews, observations sometimes, and interviews also sometimes. Like observations sometimes will also be a data for the researcher, and the surveys conducted both by the private as well as the public agencies. All these are the data tools. That is like, how can you collect the data? Tools are nothing but the medium, the instruments to collect the information. That is like through the questionnaire, through the computer assisted interviewing methods, case studies, checklist, and the observations, and even the surveys. As we know that data collection tools, we have data collection methods. What are the data collection methods? Before going to the data collection tools, let me understand the data collection methods. One is the interview. The best example, as I already said, the face-to-face interaction is the interview method. That is face-to-face interaction or the conversation between two individuals helps to get the helps to satisfy the purpose or helps to get the required information. That is the face-to-face interaction. So what is, there are other various types of interviews. One is the structured, semi-structured, and structured interviews. So this interview method, of course, it has its own merits and the demerits. What are the merits of interview method? Merits of, when there is face-to-face interaction, in-depth information you can get because you sit before the required individual, you go to the case study area, you get face-to-face interaction or the conversation, you get whatever the information you want. That helps for the in-depth information. And there will be flexibility, freedom of flexibility. You can cut short your question, you can get more information whatever you want. That is also one truth. That is one of the advantage. And what is the other merits or the advantages is the accurate data, because yourself will go there, the researcher himself goes there, the researcher will interview, the researcher will have face-to-face interaction with the required respondents, so that will be accurate. So what are the disadvantages? Of course, the interview method is also not free from the demerits or the disadvantages. That is, take for example, tribal area. A survey or the data you want from the particular tribal area, where the people live in deep forest. You have to go there, conduct interview with the people. So it is time consuming. It might be a very dense, thick forest. It is time consuming on one side. On the other hand, you have to spend huge money on your commutation. Commutation is like you have to travel, the transportation. So that is overburden of financial burden. One is it costs more time consuming and very expensive. That is what I said. You have this interview method, that is the face-to-face interaction. The merits are, the in-depth information you get and accurate data also you get, and there will be flexibility of, or the freedom of flexibility you have. But what are the disadvantages of it? The disadvantages are like very time consuming and very expensive to collect. So this is about the interview method. And the best method is easily like, interview or few tools. And the next one is the questionnaire methods. What is, before going to the questionnaire, I would like to say that while conducting the interview, you may use some of the tools. These are the method. Data collection method is the interview, but you have some of the tools over it. What are those? You may use the audio recorders, because each and every point you may not be able to take down. You may not be able to write it down very fast. So you may record it, and you may use that information whenever you require by owning the switch of the audio record. And also you can take the video of it by the video camera. You can also save it up. And at the same time, camcorder. Camcorder is both the video as well as the radio that you video as well as the audio provision will be there. It provides a combination of both video as well as audio. That thing is camcorder, is used for collecting data through interviews. And the next one is the second important method of data collection is through questionnaires. So what are questionnaires? As we know that it is the process of collecting data through an instrument consisting of series of questions. Of course, series of questions will be there, and prompts to receive a response from individual in order to administer. So it is getting information by the researcher through posing some of the question in the form of writing, in the form of series of questions. It is getting information by posing series of questions in a written format to the respondents. Sometimes the questionnaire might be sent to a vast mass. If you want to get information about 800 respondents in order to conduct primary data, you have to go with the questionnaires. That is what we say while speaking about the advantages and the disadvantages. So questionnaires is nothing but like posing question through the printed media to the respondents. What are the advantages? It can be, registered. It can be administered, it can be asked at simultaneously to various mass, to a large mass, by distributing the questionnaire to the people belonging to different areas of one particular taluk, or it might be one particular district. It can be used to compare and contrast. There is earlier research. So that depends on the questions, that depends on the researcher, that depends on the question available in the questionnaires. And at the same time, it is easy to visualize and analyze, because there will be series of questions. It will be useful to analyze what and how how the particular respondent or particular area, whatever the information. Take for example, the researcher wants to know about the dwelling area of a particular slum. He poses questions with the help of questionnaires. There he will ask about how many of them live in kacha houses, how many of them live in pakka houses. Take for example, how many of them have accessible to TV, how many of them are able or affordable to send their children to schools, how many of their children are also working or who comes under the child labor. So all this comes under can be analyzed or visualized.
Live streaming is on.
To the respondents. And at the same time, sometimes you can just distribute in the case study area the questionnaires. You can just distribute the questionnaires in the case study area to the respondents. The respondents, it is not mandatory that they have to give their identity, that they have to write their names. The respondent's identity will be protected. It is one of the important merit. When their identity is protected, automatically the accurate results will be flown out. The accurate result you may able to get, the researcher is able to get. Questionnaires can cover almost all the topics because there will be no limit for the questionnaire. You can pose as many as questions which will be in the printed version, as there will be no identity, like the identity of the individual will be protected. So there will be liberty for a researcher. So he can send many questions and he get the vast information by the respondents, one thing. And what about the cons? What about the demerits of it? Sometimes, the people might not be interested to fill up the form. Nowadays, people may not like to give answers or in a written format or filling it in the Google form. So then the people obviously might not be interested, and sometimes they may give dishonest answer. Sometimes they may not be willing to answer accurately. Thereby, you get the dishonest answers or the response from the respondents. Questionnaire cannot produce the qualitative data. See, once again, it is time consuming. You have to take the quantitative data and that has to be converted into the Excel sheet or with the help of packages, social science packages, and that qualitative data has to be transformed into qualitative data to measure, to calculate by using regression, correlation, mean, median, etc. And questions might be, because you will just distribute the questionnaire, you will not be knowing that each and every individual will fill all the questions. Some questions might be left unanswered. You may not get any answer for that particular question. So respondents may have a hidden agenda too. The respondents might have hidden agenda. So this is all about the pros and the advantages and the disadvantages of the questionnaires. And what do you know about the next is the reporting. Third important method of collecting the data is the reporting. What is reporting? Data reporting is the process of gathering and submitting data to be further subjected to analysis. So this particular source of data is the process of getting information in order to analyze it. In order to analyze, you are getting it is the process of getting, or it is the combinations of data or getting the data for the further analysis. So what does it mean? It is nothing but this is one of the best advantages of this is one of the decision making is also possible, and that is easily accessible. You can easily access the information. And self answer, this is like self answers. Reporting is like self answers. But the demerits of this is it is easily accessible. Of course, it is the advantage, but disadvantages, sometimes the self reported answers might be exaggerated. The result may be affected by bias. Sometimes the prejudice may work out and the answers might be disturbed by the bias. Respondents may be too shy sometimes to give some of the answers. So self-reporting is like sometimes the respondents may feel shy. This is one of the other important demerits that we come across. And what are the best data collection tools for reporting? One is best data collection reporting is by the information that we get from the NGO reports. Most of the NGOs, like some of the NGOs are working in the remote mm, or remote taluks of our own district. They give some of the information, NGO reports, like on the basis of the research. They say that most of the tribal people are still are not making use of some of the benefits that has been given by the governmental areas, and these NGOs are working for the betterment of those people of tribal areas. So we come across the reports, and the surveys might have also been done by these NGOs. This is one of the reporting system. And the newspapers, the journalists, the reports, that is also another important tool. One method is the reporting. Tools are the NGO reports and the newspapers. See, in interview method, we have the various other tools. Similarly, in the questionnaire, we have tools. In the reporting, we have tools like NGOs, newspapers, website articles, and also some of the hospital records are also helpful. This is about the data collection tools in the data collection method of reporting. Next is the existing data. What is the existing data? This is the introduction of new investigative questions in addition to other than ones originally used when the data was initially gathered. This is about the existing data. So again, we have the advantages and the disadvantages in the existing data. One is the accuracy is very high. Of course, regarding reporting, accuracy is very high. Easily accessible information by the existing reports. What are the demerits? What are the problems? Problems with evaluation. One thing. Difficulty in understanding. So that is one of the other important problems. So what is the best tool for existing data collection? Tools to collecting existing data is the research journals. One of the best tool for the existing data is the research journals. Of course, survey, who have already done the surveys. This is one of the important method. And next is the observation. Next data collection method is the observation. This is the data collection method by which information or a phenomena is gathered through observation. Obviously, observation gives you more data. Sometimes that is also required. The observation might also be more useful. That is, the one of the important advantages of the of this is easy to administer, and it is there subsists a greater accuracy. It is universally accepted. So observation is one of the other method of data collection. But at the same time, the observation will also have its own demerits. What is the disadvantages? What are the demerits? Some phenomena aren't open to observation. Some observation, some phenomena, you cannot get information by observation. It is very difficult. It cannot be relied upon. Sometimes observation is the individual researcher by his observation might be biased. The result might be biased. He may go with his prejudice. It is expensive to administer. All these are about the observation. And what are the best ways of observation? To be frank with you all, what are the best ways? One is the checklist and the direct observation. That is an observational study, a method of collecting, evaluating the information. Um, and similarly, we have the other sort of method in order to collect the information. That is, one thing is the focus groups. The opposite of quantitative, yes, this is the quantitative. The opposite of quantitative research, which involves numerical based data. This data,
Live streaming is on.
it falls under the primacy, it falls under the primary category for data based on the feelings and opinions of the respondents. See, this is particularly more of qualitative than the quantitative in nature, because it is related to it is based on the focus groups, the feelings, the opinion, the groups, ideas. It is based on that, which is more qualitative than the quantitative. It is not in numerical form. It is by the group, focused groups. It is based on that. And that means it takes a group of group in the sense that consists of members of around 6 to 10, which makes one particular group, 6 to 10 people, to provide to get the feedback. This is based on the feelings, the opinions of the particular group. The group consists of around 6 to 10 members. Each group consists of 6 to 10 members. So what are the advantages and what are the pros of it? Information obtained is usually very detailed, of course, and it is cost effective. It reflects speed and efficiency, because one particular group, around 6 to 10 members will be there. Getting information from them will be more accurate. It doesn't consume so much of time, and at the same time, the cons or the demerits of it is lacking depth in covering the subject matter, the entire subject matter. It is not possible because it is only the focus group of few people will be there, around 6 to 10 members. Getting information may sometimes leads to bias. It doesn't give the entire picture or entire scenario picture. That is why it is one of the lacuna of it. Here also, sometimes the entire group members, when it is 5, 6 and 10, that might also be biased. So this is another important. The researcher has very little control over the outcome. Of course, this is one of the important other demerits of the focused group. So what is the best data collection tools of? I'm going simultaneously regarding data collection method and the data collection tools. So what is the best tool of data collection method focus group is two-way. One group will be watching another group answers, and what the answer will be from that particular group. That is two-way. One group watches another group, answers the question posed by the moderator. The moderator will ask a question for both the groups. One group will be watching the answers which has been given by another group. That is two-way. And the dueling moderator, that second important tool of focus group is the dueling moderator. What is it? There are two moderators who play the devil's advocate. That means the main positive of the dueling moderator focus group is to facilitate new ideas by introducing new ways of thinking and varying viewpoints. So these are the two important tools of focus group. This is about the data collection methods and the tools. As I said, the data collection method is like interview method. We have the questionnaires, we have the reports, we have the observation, we have the focus group, we have the report existing data. So before going to this, I also said about these are data collection methods are the interview method, questionnaire, reporting, focus group, existing reports, observation, focus group. But at the same time, each and every data collection method has the data collection tools. One is the interview method is by audio recorder, tools of interview methods like audio recorder, camera, video cameras, camcorder. These are the tools. What about the questionnaires? Questionnaires, that is also one is the open-ended questionnaire is the best tool. And next we have the reporting. The best example or the best tools of the reporting is the NGOs, hospital records, and the newspaper, website articles, etc. And the existing groups we have. The existing groups also has some of the tools like research journals and the surveys. And we have the observation. Observation is one of the data collection method, and this also has the tools that is like checklist and the direct observation. We have the focus group as one of the method of data collection, and the data collection tools are the two-way as well as dueling moderator. Sorry. And this is about the data collection tools and the data collection methods. We know about this. Usually a researcher should know about the data collection methods like interview, questionnaire, reporting, focus group, observation, reporting, and at the same time data collection tools like audio recorder, digital camera, com recorder, articles, survey methods, direct observation, dual moderator, online surveys, etc. All these are the best method of best tools of data collection. As I already said that as I already discussed about the importance of data collection, one is to overcome from the bias and to get proper information and to reduce the likelihood errors and to save the time as well as the cost. All these, as we know, that it is one of the important merits and the advantages, the necessaries, importance of the data collection. And now, what are the tips to create the best surveys for data collection? So now, it is tips to create the best surveys for data collections are: define the goal of your survey. Like first the survey or the question what is there, first is to define the goal, and second one is to use close-ended clearly defined question. Third one is the survey outlook should be attractive and inviting. Fourth one is to assure respondents about the safety of their data, because that is more important. Sometimes the data, people may not be willing to give the data. Their protection, their security, their identity should be protected. Ensure that the survey conducted by the researcher can be completely in record time, because when it is open-ended questionnaire, it's okay. When it is the interview process, that should be within the record time, because other respondents might be from different fields, might be professionals or any other individual. So that has to be that has to be completed in the record time. And do a trial first. Actually, the pilot program, not a pilot program, like pilot survey has to be done, trial survey has to be done, and attach a reward upon completion for users, because whenever that has to be done for all the by all the researcher, only then the best survey can be done. So this is these are the important tips in order to collect the data. And at the same time, overall, I have spoken to you about the definition of data. Data collection is the foundation for a researcher to go for his research. That almost it gives important information. It gives answer to the problem of the researcher. It might be the primary data or the secondary data. The primary data, the primary researcher will go to the field and collect it. The secondary data, he may rely on some other sources, some other documents. The primary data, as we know that once again, mainly if you collect through the questionnaire, it is more of qualitative. Sometimes, and most of the qualitative data has to be converted into numerical form. That is the quantitative data. That is by the help of regression or correlation, mean, median, standard deviation, etc. Once again, we have various methods of data collection, and each and every method will have its own tools. Like you have the interview method, you have the observation method, existing group method, existing report method, focused groups you have the questionnaire methods. Each and everything will have its own tools. Take for example the interview. Interview will be conducted by using the audio recorder, video, com recorder, etc. Camcorder. And at the same time questionnaire, the best like the questionnaire is the open-ended questionnaire. And at the same time observation. The observation will also be like almost which gives the existing accurate data for the individual, but at the same time it has its own demerits, like the researcher might have the prejudice or the bias results may occur. And similarly, there are various merits and demerits of each and every method, but the best way for primary data is almost all the researchers are performing through the questionnaires, as we know that. And the secondary information, that is getting information by the governmental documents, non-governmental organization reports, already existing surveys, already archives are available, already the published or unpublished PhD theses, doctoral theses, and usually the articles, the published articles by the authors, newspaper articles. All these are considered as the best sources for the secondary data. And the primary data, the researcher himself goes and mainly gets information by all these methods, but usually most popular by a researcher what he uses is by the questionnaire, open-ended questionnaires, where there will be lengthy of questions and which can be given to large masses simultaneously within his recorded time, within his recorded period, to a vast mass. This is about the data collection tools and the data collection method. So data collection means giving your design for collecting information into actions. That means you are finding some solution to the existing problem or getting some answer to the particular question. How to get information, that we have to decide, whether by direct observation or whether by the interview methods or the survey and testing or any other methods. Getting and arranging information may take distinctive structures contingent upon the sort of data we are gathering. Hereby, I have made an attempt to shower some of the information on data collection, definition, types, different methods of data collection, different tools in the various methods of data collection. And I once again thank for the entire team of this esteemed institution for organizing faculty development program on data collection, which is one of the important topic, which is very apt and which is very useful for all the young researchers to know about this, and also even the academicians. So I once again thank all the viewers, all the researchers, all the academicians, and the team of this esteemed institution for organizing faculty development program on data collection. Thank you one and all. Namaste.